Well, hello Kimberly and Michelle. Thank you for meeting me here today at Hunan's all-you-can-eat buffet.
Well, wow. I really love Asian food. Poo-poo platter and chicken fried rice. I'm, so hungry.
Me too. I can hardly wait to get my fortune cookie.
I could use some good fortune, too. I really enjoy eating wonton, along with sweet and sour pork. Yummy. However, today we want to discuss the spread and development of Buddhist art and architecture from India across Asia and into China, Korea and Japan. All civilizations, whether primitive, ancient, medieval, or modern, have in the course of their development produced cultures. In the name of culture, they have created art and architecture, language and literature, music and dance, social customs, codes of ethics and behavior, laws, philosophy and religion.
Wow, examining a civilization's cultural contributions to the world is where we gain some idea and appreciation of its achievements. Really.
Yes, and I would think this becomes more visible when we look into different periods of their art and architecture.
Yes. Even the religious beliefs, ideas and ideals are sometimes given visual expression and sometimes form the subject matter of their art and architecture. In a sense, art and architecture provide mirrors to reflect a civilization's religion. In this respect, Buddhism is no exception. The very earliest examples of Buddhist art are not iconic but aniconic images and were popular in India after the death of the Buddha.
Is this because the Buddha did not sanction personal worship?
To have done so would have contradicted his message to mankind to be self-reliant in striving to put an end to human suffering.
He appears to have been a human role model to be followed but not idolized. I read one of his quotes, "Buddhas only point the way."
Yes, Michelle. So this is why the earliest artistic tributes to the Buddha are abstract symbols indicative of major events and achievements in what he believed was his previous lives. They also serve as reminders of his teachings and provide inspiration.
Can we assume that one of those abstract images was the lotus flower?
Yes, Kimberly, we can. The lotus flower symbolizes both purity and enlightenment. It is a very popular motif in Buddhist art and architecture. To better appreciate Buddhism's contribution to art and architecture, we need to take into account two major schools of Buddhism: the Theravada and the Mahayana. As these play, gradually faces on these images were made to look more and more Chinese and are even dressed in long flowing robes, shawls, after Chinese fashion. Significant rose in the creation and development of very different types of Buddhist art and architecture.
Amazing. Wow. I never knew the study of Asian art could be so interesting.
Totally.
As Buddhist art developed and spread outside India, the two basic styles were imitated. In China, where images were made of bronze, gradually the faces on these images were made to look more and more Chinese and are even dressed in long flowing robes, shawls after the Chinese fashion.
What part did the Silk Road play in the spread of Buddhist art?
Kimberly, the volume of trade which existed in the ancient world, most notably, as you mentioned, the Silk Road, which was a trade route not only for goods but for ideas as well.
I feel so stupid.
What?
What is a Buddhist temple called?
You are not stupid, Kimberly. You are referring to a stupa. A stupa is a Buddhist structure and itself an object of worship, as it was intended to serve as a relic chamber for their Buddha's remains. The earliest examples of the Buddhist stupa were raised in India. As for example, the dome-shaped stupa at Sanchai. In concluding our discussion today, Buddhism in India together with its art and architecture reached its zenith during the Gupta dynasty. The best known examples of Buddhist art from this period and were to form the standard of comparison for all subsequent Buddhist art and architecture in India and the rest of the Asian countries. My e-learning students should spend time reading Chapter 4, Early Asian Art. which explore the works discussed today along with many other wonderful works from these beautifully wonderful cultures. On a side note, my fortune cookie said, your students secretly agree that your head is too big for your body. My life is a cartoon. I should know. Good day.